Welcome to Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
And I'm Veronica.
And we talk about everything pop culture, dating, and Bachelor.
This episode, we are covering big announcements from Jojo Siwa and Halsey, respectively, Sabrina Carpenter's meager clapback to driver's license, and why Vibrator Katie continues to be the MVP of Matt's season.
Oh my goodness, and this is episode 149. What an intro.
What an intro.
We really jam-packed that intro with a whole bunch of stuff, but that's what the show's all about, baby. You know,
Indeed.
It's always fun, coming and starting off the show with you, V. But how'd you enjoy that intro song? What did you think about that vibe? You said a bad word.
I love that song. That is a classic. Like, if anyone, this is the royal you, don't get hyped when you hear this song, then you don't have a soul. Like,
it might be top 10, like, of all time. Yeah, I would say of all time, because if you could, and this is a list of like where you're pulling from all time, like you specifically can't pick another song from like that time. So I think it's up there with what's that other one from shoot, I can't believe I'll
like
think about it.
For the Memories or by Fall Out Boy? That's what's up there for me.
What's the other group? Man, I'll find out about it. I'm gonna say it like midway through the podcast and be like, hey, cut you off with the band and the song.
Right.
But
anyways, all I'm thinking out is like My Chemical Romance or something.
It's something close to that, I guess. Not like that close, but I'll figure it out. What's been going on with you, V? How are you?
Well, I was saying, I was saying that I did cryotherapy this past weekend.
Oh, is that where like they like, it's kind of like therapy where you just stand and they freeze you?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like a little icicle.
Oh.
My Saturday was a therapy-filled day. I had regular, like my therapy in the morning, which was great. And then I had cryotherapy in the afternoon to freeze stuff, it's supposed to like help my muscles regenerate. I'm trying to get back in the workout saddle, and I have to say I am using and abusing. So it was interesting. And then my hat that I wore last week on the podcast.
The infamous hat.
Huh?
The infamous hat.
The infamous hat. I took it out to see the open air a little bit this past weekend. So it got some compliment. I was looking cute. I had a whole little fit on. Sometimes that's all I need is a whole little fit to feel some kind of way.
Do you feel like that's one of those outfits you can only bust out like 2 or 3 times a year? Or are you just you're gonna play out that hat?
No, I mean, I've got like 3 different hats. And I think I can bust out a lot of different outfits with each of them. Like the one that I wore with the hat this past weekend, it was like this little like mesh shirt with like my leather jacket and like cool boots.
But you know the
stuff.
hat girl. You know the girl that's like, she brought the hat again. You just can't be that girl. That's all we're saying here.
Okay, I'm not trying to be any hat girl. Okay, I think I'm okay. I think I can wear.
Look how defensive she's getting because I'm sunglasses guy. She can't be hat girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well,
yeah, only you can wear the same shit in all your photos. I guess I won't. Don't worry. I'm pretty good about not doing that. So.
Oh man, yeah, because you're an outfit checker.
I am an outfit. Yeah, I just like in the Lizzie McGuire movie, which people who know, you will know. Just like Kate said to Lizzie, you're an outfit repeater. I'm Kate in this situation, and I can't help that. I will call people out on outfit repeating.
Wow, shaming. Anyways, well, that's cool. This past weekend, I essentially, the opposite of wearing hats, I cut my friend Andy's hair for the first time. Long hair. And it actually turned out really good.
It did look really good. He needed to be cleaned up. It was getting dire.
Oh, you saw the
no
video.
Offense,
the video,
Andy, but it was not looking good.
There was a before and after video that I made and I put out there that got pretty big reactions from people. It's kind of weird because you don't notice how far you've gotten with your hair until you get a fresh haircut, and you just see it back to back. It was pretty.
You're like, holy shit, I looked homeless.
Yeah, no, straight up he did. We went out to dinner last week, last like Friday or something, and we just went to get Mexican. Like we go out once a week to do it, and this homeless guy actually came in, and he was like, "Hey, Barry."
No,
And
you're joking.
Trying to get Andy's attention. No, I swear. This is after his CEO of his company. No, the couple days before that, the CEO of his company said, "You look like a homeless person." And then this homeless person legit came off the streets to use the bathroom at the restaurant and he was like, "Barry." And he's like, I don't know. He's like, "Oh, sorry. I thought you were my friend, Barry." No. And I look at Andy. I'm like, "Yo, we got to cut your hair like in the next day." So it was kind of intimidating though. I was like really nervous. You know, you don't want to mess. I feel like I've gotten good at like the short fade with the clippers, but I had to cut his hair with scissors. And I started getting in there. I'm like, how am I gonna do this? There's like, it's a lot harder than it looked. But
oh please, I know that when I was in college, when my hair was like, people who watched our podcast or see our promos have seen like my hair used to be like shorter. Now it's like a bob. But when it was shorter and stuff in college, I always had guy friends who were like, "I could cut your hair," and I said, "Absolutely not. There is a lot that goes into it because there is the layers, the like, you know, the building of the back and all the like my undercut on the sides." I was like, "No, you cannot."
Yeah, no, I feel you, but like hear me out for a second here.
I
did not think I could cut long hair on a guy, but like and make it even, you know, like and fade it with scissors. And it's funny because like more than guys coming to me for haircuts, I've had like more girls be like, "Can you cut my hair?" And I'm like, "Are you serious? That's like crazy. Like I've never even cut a girl's hair." But with that being said, I'm really good at watching like YouTube videos. And I know that's the worst thing to do, but like I'm really good at watching YouTube videos and learning like after like 30 minutes of watching like you know, techniques and stuff. And that's how I did it on Andy's hair.
No offense to you, but I think I'm going to keep going to my girl, Kathleen.
That's fine. Because Andy's going to use the money he saves on his haircuts in the stock market, and we'll see, you know, where we go from there.
I like to support my girl, and also I don't trust my hair with many people.
I wouldn't trust it with me either. But anyways, V, why don't you tell me, what are you watching?
Well, I just started watching it, so I'm only like a couple episodes in, but because everybody's been talking about it, I started watching Bling Empire on Netflix, which the best like quick way to describe it is a reality show version of Crazy Rich Asians. So it's very interesting. It pretty much just talks about like it follows the lives of a friend group of like Asian American, like wealthy elite folks in like the LA Beverly Hills area. Mm-hmm. And so it definitely is an interesting show because it does intertwine like areas of like their culture as well as just like the culture of like being like these kinds of wealthy people in that area and just like what kind of money they come from. Because a lot of them like they're, you know, like around our age and stuff, and they are like just set up like their families like own shipping, oil, whatever back in like Vietnam or China or whatever. And it's just like insane. And they literally are just like balling. They're just balling. And then, but it's interesting because there's like kind of diversity. Some of them in the group, like one guy is a model. So like he's like kind of like new money and he doesn't like get some of their stuff. And then one of them is like this older woman who like used to be like kind of like the top tier person of the group. And now like because she's had her own stuff is like kind of fallen from grace. So it's very interesting. I feel like it's going to be very bingeable for me. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Well, that's what's up. Sounds interesting. You know, we love money in Asians. What am I watching? Sorry.
You know, we love money and Asians. Wow. Okay. I mean,
I'm sure if that was what you liked, that was like what would curate on your Netflix. I don't know. I would guess. But anyways, I was watching nothing really this weekend, and honestly, it's really hard to remember like something you watched in the last week if you don't write it down. But I did remember.
Like I write it down. So.
Yeah, I know. I remembered though. I forgot that my friend AJ actually visited again this weekend, and he spent the night with me here, and we watched. We watched Wolverine, one of the old X-Men movie and stuff.
Ooh, like which one? Like Wolverine? I feel like I don't even know all the different Wolverine.
There's Wolverine, there's the Wolverine, and then there's Logan. And then there's the other
Dope
X-Men.
Wolverine.
Yeah, you know when like The Fast and The Furious came out, and then like 5 movies later they're like, and now the new 5th one, Fast and Furious. You're like, wait, well, isn't it weird when like new movies come out, they're supposed to be the 5th one in the whole lineage of it, but they just name it the same thing again? Anyways, like Jumanji. I guess that one was like Into the Wild or something like that.
They don't even know.
Welcome to the Jungle. That's what it was called. But anyways, I watched Wolverine a lot better than I remembered, actually. It has Ryan Reynolds in it playing the stupid version of Deadpool before he actually got into the Deadpool role in his own movies. So it's he played Deadpool in the Wolverine movie first, but it was
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I remember this now.
He actually goes back at like a post-credit scene into that movie in one of the Deadpool movies to like kill himself and stuff. So I recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. It's a good movie if you love Marvel movies and stuff. I really do think like those X-Men movies and Hugh Jackman and Wolverine set off the whole tone for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So just had to be said. Well, V, why don't we catch a little flight to a place I like to go called Quick Hits? What do we got for Quick Hits?
All right. I always like to start with the sad stuff to get it out of the way.
Wait,
but
I don't. Well, you gotta tell me if we start with sad stuff, so I'm not coming in like Quick Hits, and then you're just like, you know.
What do you mean? Tell you? You can see it visually. It's on the outline. You know where it is.
Don't give away all our secrets, V. This is movie magic I'm trying to create for our listeners. Continue. What do we got?
You really think our listeners are just like, they both just go off the top of their heads? I know for a fact they don't think I go off the top of my head. That's for damn sure.
When we get together, we do talk about this stuff too, and we could keep going and stuff. So, but
anywho's, Larry King.
Yeah.
He has passed away at the age of 87. Sad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a giant in talk shows, in interviewing, in everything. I mean, he had several different health complications over the years. He and most recently had COVID back in the winter. So I think, you know, it's sad.
And he still had it too, like, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever he did like on-camera stuff up until the end, he was still like witty and funny and could throw it back at you. So I mean,
he knows how to ask a good question. And like they actually showed, because he died the same week that it was like Mac Miller's birthday, and so like they posted a video of him interviewing Mac Miller, and that got me in my feels. I'll be honest, I was feeling some kind of way.
Wow. What else we got?
Moving right along, my girl Halsey.
Yeah.
Is expecting a child. And yes, great. The kids love it. I love it. Except I'll be honest, the first thing I said when I saw the picture of her pregnant, because she posted it just today, like it literally just happened, so Wednesday of this week, was I literally said, I was like, congrats, but who's the daddy and why is it not me? I just want to know, Halsey, what's going on, sis? I think I would have been a great co-parent, but that's fine. It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
But
why don't you want your own kid?
If she wants to carry it, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Anyways, but the dad is Alev Aiden, who is a screenwriter of like some very indie kind of films. And he's 37. She's 26. So she seems to be very happy. She also, I forgot about this, and which makes me like slap on the wrist as like a Halsey fan. She suffered a miscarriage like a year or so ago. So I'm guessing that probably would have been with
Youngblood
or other people of that line of, I mean, I know she has had reproductive struggles because she has endometriosis, which makes it hard in general. But so this is going to be kind of like her rainbow baby. So that is, that's exciting for her that she gets to be a mother. And, you know, I'm excited for her.
Congrats to Halsey.
It's my girl.
Any other celebrity news going on here?
Yes, so Jojo Siwa, known for being an alum of Dance Moms, now known for just being a, you know, I don't know, like a child singer, songwriter personality. Like she's known for her bows and her dancing and all that stuff. Kids love Jojo. She came out recently as queer via multiple different TikTok videos and Instagram stories. So she did a couple TikTok videos where she was singing, she was lip syncing along to Born This Way by Lady Gaga, a classic gay anthem. And then there's one where she was lip syncing and dancing along to Paramore's Ain't It Fun, to the line of like, and now you're one of us. And she's with this creator house called the Pride House in LA. And so everyone's like, yo, JoJo's out. And then she posted a picture of like a shirt her cousin got her that said like my like best gay cousin. So good for JoJo. I'm proud of her, and I think this is a great for, you know, the young folks who are her fans and stuff, kids and things, to see her being so truly herself.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, it's probably really hard for her to ever be herself because she's known for, you know, the way she pageants herself, you know, in her costumes and stuff. So good for her. Yeah. So. And
I skipped over this one, but we brought up Travis Barker last week when I talked about what I had watched, and now the rumors that everybody have been swirling for honestly years are true. Him and Kourtney Kardashian are dating
officially,
which is seemingly a weird combo, but like I guess they've been longtime friends, so that makes sense. Like, I know, like, their families are close and things like that, but I just, like, it's so funny to see, like, very, like, you know, very manicured, prim and proper Kourtney Kardashian in, like, you know, her Range Rover or whatever with Travis Barker, who is, like, all tatted up, very much so, like, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I think they make a really good couple. I mean, if they've been close for as long as you say they have been, then they probably make a good couple. I mean, I agree. He is of stature to be a Kardashian beau, you know? I think so. Travis Barker.
You think?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Travis Barker is like one of our like last like rock stars, I feel like, you know, like you just well-respected rock stars. Like when you think about like guitarists over the years or drummers, like he'll go down in history as, you know, one of like a Ringo Starr or something like that. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's throwing them too far up there. But I mean, even Ringo Starr is known as the drummer of one of the biggest bands ever. But Travis Barker is known as like one of the biggest drummers ever. So it's like
true,
you know. And so yeah, good for him. Kourtney and him, I think, make a good couple. So what else we got?
So you probably know even more about this than I do, but there's a whole bunch of things happening with the GameStop stock because of Reddit and just like how they're pretty much, I don't even know how to like describe it correctly, really, of just how like Redditors and everything have been predicting different moves with the GameStop stock that now it's like kind of like screwing over like short sellers and things of those lines, and now it's like it's a huge thing. I don't know. Do you know more about?
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting into stocks, so this is like something that I'm like starting to try to understand in itself, because I don't really know Reddit either that well, like how to even. I don't know. I think it's the weirdest like user interface, like as far as
it is. I hate the user interface of Reddit so much.
But so many people use it and understand it so well. It's like Twitter to me. I don't get that either. But that's probably why it's huge. And well, essentially what happened is that I think GameStop stock, you know, went up because Redditors started threading about how funny it would be, like, you know, the company has been kind of going under. Like, I think they were about to they're about to be bought up. I think this Friday is like a selling of it and stuff. So people were trying to short the stock and also bump the stock up so much that by the time that whoever was going to buy the company would have to like buy it at like, you know, where the shares
that
are
much,
at and stuff. So, and I think the issue is with the shorting is that like because of how many unprecedented people and the shorting caused the prices, also pushed the prices up to inflate, that essentially like traders like TD Ameritrader or Robinhood or whatever you use, Webull or something, like all these trading like apps that you use, are probably going to have to like institute some type of like regulation or something, so you can't do these type of things. So like Redditors essentially found a way to like trick the system and make money. It's stuff that like, you know, companies and stuff be doing to us all the time. So it's kind of crazy to see the world freak out, because like these are kids, like, you know, in like their 20s or like 30s or maybe even teenagers, just like online all day long, just like figuring out like and talking to each other, like millions of people coming together as a community to like drive the price up of a stock and make money. Like people are making money and changing their lives and stuff for this stuff. So it's starting to pull things. There's like this movement called YOLO, which essentially is like, these are YOLO stocks where you pick like a penny stock that are like, you know, the price of it is at like $4. So, you know, there's a bunch of these companies that are like this. The next one they say they're going to do it to is AMC, like the movie theaters. They're talking about doing it to BlackBerry. They're talking about doing it to Express.
Oh yeah, I saw the stuff about BlackBerry too.
My homie Chad is actually in the building right now watching the behind the scenes, but he got in on some Nokia, and that shit spiked up, and, you know, 4 times itself. So it's like, it's very exciting times, because like, I mean, not just myself getting into it, it's kind of weird seeing everybody else's interest starting to grow around, and it probably has to do with the fact that how easy trading has become now because of our phones. So essentially you're just like, it's like betting, like, you know, like you can make educated like stuff, but it's like you can flip your money, you know, and the way the dollar is depreciating these days, like it's better to maybe put your money into some well thought out investments as opposed to leaving it into savings account that's just depreciating. So yeah, that's pretty much like where it's at. It's hard. It's hard because like people are like, oh, I'm going to invest in it right now and stuff. But usually by the time that like we're talking about it on the podcast, it's probably too late for you. And
it's too late.
And you have FOMO, for sure. And you're trying to get in, and then you're probably going to lose money and stuff. So, you know, if you're going to get into investing, I would say get into stuff that you're more sure about, things that you research, and because, you know, that we are not financial advisors, so we're not giving you any sort of
absolutely not
financial advice. But with that being said, my advice would be like, you know, really just research a company and see what they're about and what their future plans are and stuff. So it's exciting times out here on Wall Street. So that's going on. What else we got for quick hits?
Well, we just talked about some very grown-up kind of things, and now we're going to really switch gears and talk about the teen drama surrounding the hit song, the Billboard #1 song for these past couple of weeks, Driver's License. Have I listened to it on repeat and maybe cried about my high school boyfriends? Perhaps. Has the majority of the millennials have done that? Yes, it's kind of it's a little earworm. It's great. But let's break down the drama. It starts. The song Driver's License is by Olivia Rodrigo, who was on High School Musical, the series, with her co-star.
I can't believe we live in a world where that's actually a thing. That's what I'm like. High School Musical, the series. Oh my God. We talked about this last year.
We've talked about it on this podcast before.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
And then so Joshua Bassett is her co-star on that, and supposedly they had been dating for some period of time where, you know, it was a little iffy because she is like 15, just turned 16, and I think he is 18 or 19. So
what do you mean
there
that's
was
a little iffy, V? What are you talking about? That's very iffy.
I'm saying it was iffy that there was rumors that they were dating, because like it's not like they could confirm it because there is some minor and, you know, whatever issues there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But she releases this song. Mm-hmm. And the song pretty much details how she, you know, learned to drive with this guy and was so excited, like, you know, she finally got her driver's license, and now, like, he's broken her heart because, you know, she's seen him with some older blonde girl. Enter Sabrina Carpenter, who was pictured with Joshua Bassett getting lunch right before the release of this song. So, this song is released. Everyone's Team Olivia. Everyone's really vibing, being like, "Fuck you, Josh." He releases his own song called "Lies, Lies, Lies" that everyone was just like Sure, Jan, whatever. And then Sabrina released a song last Friday called Skin that has lyrics that reference, like maybe you couldn't find another word that rhymes with blonde. And, maybe I'm like, and I guess I'm driving you insane and everything like that. So Sabrina, everyone is like out here like being like, keep streaming driver's license, forget Sabrina, like whatever.
So like just to bring it back to the Reddit or GameStop thing, that's exactly what they're doing to GameStop. Is they're getting on Reddit and saying keep streaming GameStop. And,
literally,
and it's getting the streams up. So just to put it in correlation for what maybe that
is exactly, that is a perfect analogy. Yeah. That is perfect. So Sabrina has come out trying to say that Skin is not directly a diss track against Driver's License. She thinks Driver's License is a great song, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't like fully deny it. Like she half denied it. It was like, but I'm like, it adds up, sis. So, and like Olivia's had Instagram videos of her like the day that Skin came out, like lip singing along to like Reputation by Taylor Swift. It's a whole thing. And now like it's crazy that like TikTok, Instagram, music, all this is so intertwined that like because of like all of this drama that people feel invested in because we have nothing better to do, like this is gonna be probably the top song for like the next 2 weeks or so.
That's a real thing. He goes like, Chad's like, is that a real thing or a TV show? It sounds like a Netflix original series, like a whole season.
This is just either slightly.
The funny part is that they could use the same people as the actors in.
They are already actors, so might as well. Yeah. So it's either a very well done like publicity stunt for all of these songs, which it could be very potentially,
exactly,
or which it's backfiring a little bit on Joshua and Sabrina and really just working in Olivia's favor. Or
I just think Olivia might have the younger crowd. That's the thing nowadays. If you have the young,
she's got the younger crowd. She's got the older crowd. She's got us all. Yeah. She's got us all wrapped around her little finger.
I haven't even heard the song yet, but I added this song because of how many places I was seeing the word driver's license. So. Crazy. Why don't we get into last of our quick hits here? It looks like hold on. Like it says Meg Thee Stallion.
Quick update on Meg Thee Stallion because I care about her well-being.
Of course.
There was false reports that had surfaced saying that the charges against Tory Lanez had been dropped, and so she took to Twitter to be like, that ain't it. Don't believe that, like, blah, blah, blah. She's like, the court case got pushed back because of the inauguration, but she's pretty much being like, I can't wait until the facts come out. Like, he shot me, he's going to jail, good luck, kind of deal. So I'm interested to see what happens with this court case coming up. So I think the court case so the preliminary hearing is on February 25th, so we've got like a month. But we will see what happens after that.
I really wonder though how this is gonna play out for Meg Thee Stallion, like the whole thing, like how everyone comes out on the other side. It's just such a weird situation. Like I don't know, it's so messy. But we'll see what happens. We got some Jake and Logan Paul brothers news. Jake Paul, I guess, is actually doing the fight with Ben Askren.
Who's a UFC fighter. They're going to do like a multiple round boxing, 8 rounds or something. There's a fight.
Jake Paul was talking shit about Conor McGregor's past fight this weekend. That was another loss for Conor McGregor, which is kind of crazy. And
not a good look for him, for sure.
Yeah, so Jake Paul was talking shit. He's like, I have $10,000 if you want to fight now. Because they were offering him like $50 million to fight before. Which, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what's worse. Like, losing in an actual UFC fight or just, like, beating the shit out of someone. I don't know. Like, Conor must be scared of Jake Paul. But anyway, speaking of the other brother, Logan Paul, he has his podcast that's, I guess, pretty popular. I would say that his podcast is popular because he had already been popular in YouTube. It just kind of like transferred his YouTube videos to this podcast called Impulsive. but it's pretty. It's kind of I would say it's kind of controversial, and they just had like
kind of anything about the Paul brothers is controversial,
right?
Just them even still existing and making money off of the internet is controversial.
Sure.
In my opinion.
So they had Dave Portnoy on an episode recently on their podcast, and I don't know how well it went, but apparently Dave had offered them some type of deal where they're like brand ambassadors now for Barstool Sports. So it's the podcast is now, I don't know, distributed through there, or they just
so they are working with they're like doing promotion for Barstool Sports Book, which is, I think, their sports betting platform. So they're like part of like the Michigan launch of that, because that's why like Dave has been in Michigan a lot recently, because I've seen his pizza reviews there. But so they're pretty much, him and Nick Merckx, Logan Paul and Nick Merckx, are going to be main faces for that branch of that, which is just, I don't know. I'm not really into like the whole like sports betting in general. So
that's gonna be huge. That's something y'all.
It's huge. It's definitely
look
big
into
for them.
if you get into that investing stuff. But B, what made you go yikes this week?
Oh man. There, like, if the driver's license teen drama wasn't enough, now we have adults, grown ass adults, who are doing similar drama on the internet, and these adults happen to be Kristen Cavallari, Jay Cutler, and then Madison LaCroix from Southern Charm. And you're like, how are all of these people related? Well,
we got a Laguna Beach, we got a football player, we got another reality star. It's very easy nowadays in 2021.
As we know, Kristen and Jay have been separated for some time now. And it was rumored for a brief period of time, because she was seen out with Austin Kroll or something. What is his last name? Something of that degree, who is Madison LaCroix's ex from Southern Charm. Kristen was seen out at dinner with him, months ago. And then she, came onto her Instagram stories the next day being like, wow, didn't know I couldn't be friends with a guy. But then Jay had been seen on dates, or was rumored to be dating Madison for a while. And then like there had been ups and downs with Jay posting pictures of him with Shannon Ford, who is like kind of Kristen's nemesis from when they were on whatchamacallit, what was her show? Very Cavallari, back before she fired Shannon. And so then he took those down, blah, 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 whatever. This all spins out into then, most recently this past week, there is a photo that was shared to both Kristen's Instagram and Jay's Instagram of them both together. And it said, their captions read, "The world is full of users. 10 years, can't break that." And both of them had that same caption. And this just so happened to be the day after Madison LaCroix went on her Instagram Live to pretty much shit talk Kristen Cavallari and her parenting style and what she does and all this stuff, which, was furthering. And she was like showing receipts and stuff of texts that she was having with Jay, of Jay also kind of using her, saying that, Jay said that he wanted to date me, but then didn't. And then like there's all these text exchanges. And so it got really messy. So they posted, Jay and Kristen posted those. And then Madison felt the need to comment on Jay's thing, saying, "I knew it'd all work out in the end," with a laughing, crying emoji. So people now Kristen's taken to TikTok to shit talk Madison more, because she hasn't said anything other places, but on TikTok she has. It's just these are adults like in their late 20s, early 30s. Like this is like, we're adults.
Yeah, but this is, I don't know much about this LaCroix girl or the football player guy, but I do know a lot about Kristen Cavallari, and she's been doing this since we were 16. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I don't really put it past her being on TikTok talking smack, and she can talk smack like if you've seen the
Nobody's
hills,
business.
if you've seen Laguna Beach, like Kristen can. Like,
That's my
get in
thing
your
is like
face.
I would never want to be another woman trying to talk smack to Kristen Cavallari.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Madison started it by being like she's a bad mom, she's this or that, whatever. I would never want to be that person doing that. Have you watched The Hills? Have you you would never do that. You would never be all like, you know what? You know who I'm gonna shit talk and think that nothing will happen to me? Kristen Cavallari.
Right.
That's bold.
Yeah.
Bold move.
That's definitely bold. All right, well, V, why don't we get into this week's episode of The Bachelor? It was definitely it was I don't even know what to say. It was a rough week. So why don't we just hop right into it? Where do we start?
All right, so the beginning of the episode has us hopping into pretty much, I think it's the rose ceremony because people are still a little bit reeling from Sarah leaving after, I think it was like a group date, whatever. But then we go into a rose ceremony cocktail party. And as, the girls are all feeling better, they're all like, Sarah's gone. Things are feeling good. Blah, 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 blah. Well, they all spoke too soon because as Matt is in the middle of a conversation with Queen Victoria, which I think he was very happy to be pulled away from, Chris is like, well, we had a record turnout. So here are, 5 more girls. And, Matt's like, what? And the girls are at their little shit talking window and they're like, what? And so 5 more girls come in, one of them being Brittany, who is the first one out of the limo and just grabs his face and makes out with him.
She is hot. Holy cow.
She's really hot. She's
crazy.
really hot.
And her confidence
I'm into her.
is ridiculous. I was just like, I just loved her whole presence, like the way she talks, like everything. Like, she was dope. She was a nice surprise. Anyways.
She was. And so she's already kind of like target number 1. I mean, all of these
it's always
new
the
girls
prettiest one, right?
Of course. All these new girls are targets. The old girls, or the OGs as they call themselves, are not pleased, which we already saw this back when it was the Tayshia season. Like, people, the guys weren't super happy when new guys came in, and it's going to be similar vibes, except for, with this group, there's already 20 some of them. So they're just
Chris,
all
positioned it though. He's all like, because you're the Bachelor, we have a record amount of girls. Like, no, dude. Then what happened with Claire? Like, you just had a bunch of different people for Tayshia when she came in. No, I think this is just what they. And
no, it's
a perfect way to add drama mid-season.
Well, and it's just because of COVID and stuff. It's so much easier for them to just be like, okay, we're gonna quarantine, if this many people make it through and test negative, we're gonna just quarantine whoever. And even when the new girls came in, some of them mentioned in their first conversations with Matt, waiting those that extra week or so in my room was crazy. I think they broke the fourth wall a lot with the whole idea of they were quarantined just extra, they've been just chilling like villains,
I picked up
waiting
on
to
that.
finally make it on. But the biggest surprise was 4 out of the 5 of them stay through the rose ceremony. So they literally show up, get to talk to him. Some of these old girls still have not gotten one-on-one time with Matt, which is crazy to me. But so some of the old girls go home, and that's, I guess, upsetting to other people. But we move on to our first group date of the episode, and our man Ben Higgins is there to help lead it.
Yeah, people are asking why Tyler Cameron hasn't shown up yet. Why wouldn't Tyler be a person for this type of date or whatever?
Yeah.
I kind of, I wanted to know what you think. How come they haven't shown Tyler yet? What do you think?
I feel like they're gonna show Tyler later down the road. I don't know if it has who knows if it's COVID related. I think, they want to make sure they're leading the top, especially as Matt has been leading these first couple of weeks, being very much so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so new to this process, blah, blah, blah. And Tyler was never a bachelor. He's just been on the other side. So I think they want to at least front load it with people with, a Ben Higgins and stuff who's actually been the bachelor before they bring on the friend contestant who's the only reason why Matt's on the show.
I feel like they don't want any of the girls to go crazy for Tyler.
Well, that too. I mean, they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, might cause some problems. What if they just brought in Tyler with And they brought in 5 like girls for him to just chill like in a separate room like outside of. I'd watch that show.
Like his own harem? Why are you saying 5 separate
No,
girls?
it would just be like a little mini bachelor off the side of the big bachelor. I don't know. They call it Little Batch.
Little Batch. Oh my god. Anyway, so the group date that they do is this like really crazy fall themed date. Mm-hmm. They have to like paddle pumpkin boats. They have to wear squirrel outfits and dig for nuts. And Anna, who's the Chicago girl who just constantly is baring her teeth, is already out for these new girls because she's heard some rumors about Brittany, because they're both from Chicago, that Brittany is an escort. Or, is of that sort where she's getting...
It's weird because, like, in the editing up until this point, I really thought it was, like, Victoria that they were, like, positioning as being the escort or something like that. I don't know why.
I thought it was somebody else. Like, I didn't know who they were positioning as this escort, but I didn't think it was going to be... I don't know who I thought it was going to be.
That's why I thought it was her. But anyways, if anybody else thought that was her, too, let me know. Because that's the way it looked like in the editing to me. But anyways, it ends up being about Brittany. Right.
So this is already problematic to begin with.
Yeah.
She then, is like spreading this to the other girls.
You know what's funny though? This whole thing, like a couple years ago, I mean, it does happen. Like, it's just weird to seeing how the world evolves, between like the bullying and between, shaming people for like sex work or whatever like that. It's just kind of crazy to see like where the world has gotten to, like to the point where you could just like see how problematic this is. Like, I feel like you watching on TV 5 years ago, you would just laugh or be like, you just gang up on that person too, probably, or something. I don't know, but continue.
But yeah, so anyways, it kind of becomes like it seems very tone deaf by the show that they are, being all like, this is the big thing, like this could ruin, like she's a sex, like she's an escort, like she entertains men for money, blah blah blah, which like. It's 2021, and also this was filmed in the end of 2020, and like the biggest thing popping off at that time was OnlyFans.
Right. I mean, are you telling me that you're never gonna get a contestant on here that's never had an OnlyFans? Give me a break.
Like, yeah, there's never, like, I mean, we're all, one of my other favorite podcasters, she says it, she always says, she's like, we're all prostitutes in some sort of way. Like, we're all like pimping ourselves out for money in some kind of way.
I believe that.
And I believe it. And I mean, I think about just even going on this show in general, you're kind of pimping yourself out to hopefully make money down the road as an Instagram influencer. But Anna kind of like approaches her with the whole group being all like, well, I hear you're an escort. Are you an escort? And like, Brittany is like, no.
Like, she's like, I had a boyfriend since I was like 16.
She's like, is it no? Like, no, I'm not an escort, but thanks for... like, whatever.
Oh my gosh. Victoria was savage this episode. Like, I've never seen, like uncomfortably savage. Like,
she was just
and she would have
made
everyone uncomfortable if it wasn't in the moment of, like, everyone wanting the other girls to feel like shit. But, like.
She was so rude to all the new girls. She, like, took the crown off of the, like, Miss Puerto Rico.
Yo,
off of her.
She handled that like a G. She just let it happen, because I don't even know, like, if it was guys, I can't see that same scenario going down as smooth as like someone taking something from another person's head,
Yeah, no. And she also, like, she tried to go at Katie, because Katie, at the beginning of the episode, Katie was kind of like, like, yeah, Sarah's gone and whatever, but like, she has her own shit going on and all this stuff. And like, Victoria kept being all like, well, whatever, she's a fake bitch, so I don't give a shit. And like, Katie's all like, well, maybe stop being so fucking mean to everybody all the fucking time.
She's like, the trash took itself out, which was like harsh, but like, it only sounded harsh because they are putting, what's her name, Katie?
Yeah.
Or no, what's the one that was like sticking up for the bullying?
Katie.
Okay, so she, she called her out immediately, which made like, the comment, like, that would have just been a regular comment on the show, sound really messed up, actually. Like, like, why are you talking about? And it's just like crazy how dumb and immature Victoria is. Like, I just, and honestly, Victoria... it's actually it's a negative to the show having her stay on here so long, because it's just
I agree.
the
Like, I don't
fake.
really know how she's sticking around, because then she felt the need to approach Katie later in the show.
They wanted to keep her around for the new girls, because they knew that she would like cause the most drama and get everyone stirred up when the new girls came in. So she's gone this week. They actually probably planned it out for her to get kicked out of here by like next week's episode and shit, because of how fucked up she's been.
Well, yeah. I mean, because she tried to approach Katie later in this episode being all like, I don't appreciate how you have been coming at me. And like, Katie's like, I have absolutely never come at you. You've only come at me. And like, Katie like pretty much like eviscerates her with the facts.
She's like, I'm not apologizing to you. That's crazy.
Like, it was crazy, like, how well, like, Katie just fully, like, handled it like such a G, and you could see, like, the blood drain out of Victoria's face, like, when she realized that, like, she was like, oh, I have no leg to stand on, and I was just like, that's right, that's right, like, get it, Katie.
Oh, yeah, it was so satisfying to watch her do it. Definitely dark horse, for sure, is Katie.
She's a dark horse, but I feel like she's not gonna win Matt's heart. I think she's just like America's favorite right now. But an actual dark horse is newcomer Michelle, who got the one-on-one date this week, which, you know, obviously made people mad because she's new. But, you know, she got a classic fall, beautiful one-on-one date. They went up in a hot air balloon. They made out a bunch. They talked about like how they'd make nice looking kids. They, you know, that whole shebang. She dropped a Maya Angelou quote that Matt could recognize. We love a woke king. And then, you know, he seems smitten with her. I don't know. I think she's a top contender now, which is interesting. And I don't know if it's just because she's a shiny new thing or it's because it's a real connection.
I don't know. I didn't really see it. I didn't see the connection. I know it was forced for the episode, like, you know, whatever, but like, and he's playing the role of the Bachelor and she's new to it, so she doesn't know any better. Like, you know, I just think like it all just kind of played into itself. I don't know. I mean, she might stick around like longer than other people, but I don't think she's like top 5.
You don't think she's like top 3 or top 5? Okay.
Top 5, yeah. Like, there's just so many beautiful girls in that group. Like, you know, it's crazy. Like, they're just more popping up every episode. I'm just every
episode.
Oh my god. I'm like, and there's like some of them. They're just so beautiful. I know. But anyways, so where are we at? So they go on their date. That went good.
Last group date is boxing, which I'm tired of these. I'm tired of the physical fighting dates. I'm over them for either Bachelor or Bachelorette, whether it's guys or girls. I think they're overdone. What do they prove? I think they honestly, both sides just go into toxic masculinity. Not a fan, but Wells was there as one of the hosts, and I just wish he talked more because he's got some of the best commentary, and they really didn't let him have creative input, which I really wish they would have.
I mean, it just doesn't sound like actually the best like date for him to be on. Like, you know, like he's not one to want to watch and talk about girls fighting. Like, that's not.
No, I mean nobody really does. Like,
no, I mean, if you got the Paul brothers in there, I'm sure they would have loved.
Oh yeah, and for real, they'd be like, "It's all right."
Exactly. So there's just like, you know the room here. But yeah, also, you know, Matt jumped in and said, we got to stop this. Like, no more. I mean, dude, I was watching it. Like, oh my God. Like, I'm just like, I cannot believe this is on TV right now. They're letting these two girls beat the shit out of each other for this man. Like, it's crazy. While he's sitting comfortably around, like, the other girls that are, like, dressed up nice and, like, ready to, like, pounce on him, too. So it's just, like, the whole thing is just completely ridiculous.
I hated it. And I think, you know, it definitely breeds, like, yeah, obviously, like, these girls aren't really here to make friends. I get that. But, like, I feel like pitting them against each other in this kind of way is just so, it's just so gross. It's just like, I have no love for these kinds of dates. I want them to stop doing these kinds of dates. I feel
like this season obviously was like a kind of like a little bit of copy and paste from like Claire's season, like some of the stuff that they did there, because they kind of just had to, like, you know, try some things in a location or something. But I forgot to say it, like during the hot air balloon thing. There was my favorite moment of the episode was like this actual like genuine rom-com moment that happened that like it was like you couldn't even really write it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it's like the part where like they're in the hot balloon and the 4 girls are like on the porch and stuff. And
yes,
that one girl.
I literally paused and rewound.
I did too.
I thought it was so funny.
I did too. That's so freaking weird, Veronica. That's why we host this podcast together, because it was so cute that I was like, no way that was that cute. I gotta rewind this and see it perfectly happen again, because it was like a scripted movie or something. Because she's like, oh my God,
Serena
imagine your first kiss on a hot air balloon. And they're like, stop. All the other girls are like, please don't say that. She was like, I know. I don't know why I said that. But imagine. And then you're like, stop. I was just like, yo, that's straight up from a movie.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, that's so, because that's so
I can't believe you
real,
rewinded it too, because I swear I rewinded it. That was.
No, I swear to God.
And it was so late last night when I was watching it too. It was like 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, is it that funny to like worth watching like for another 5 minutes? And I did. So yeah, that way I just wanted to bring that up. So that girl actually gets punched in the nose during that fighting scene. But moving along, they get to now it's actually becoming a thing in the house where the girls are talking, and some of the girls are on the right side of this conversation of the bullying, and some girls are really are the problem. So where does this kind of leave us with this episode?
So at the end of the episode, Katie, like, they're at their little after date cocktail party thing, and you could tell it might be like the rose hasn't been given out yet, I don't think. And it's probably right before, because Katie goes outside to say something to Matt, and like he's like with producers, like they all like kind of like scurry away, and he's like, yeah, what's up? And she pretty much tells him like, hey, like, I'm not here to start shit, but like the way that some of these girls are treating Brittany and some of the other girls is just like not okay. They're saying things that could ruin their reputations, which I don't know if I love like that framing of it, but it's like more of like they're saying things that are just detrimental to what it just are false. They're just wrong. And like, so she's like, and it's just not, I don't stand for it. And I just needed you to tell, because like she's pretty much telling him to be like, hey, buck up, bitch. Like, you have like some women to like that you don't know anything about, and you are just out here just letting like these girls run loose and like just say shit. I mean, and
you're right. There is some responsibility on his part and the producer's part, because like, dude, honestly, there's no way that this guy likes Victoria. There's no way.
No.
Yeah. So it's like you're
no
like
way. The way his body language whenever he's with her, there's nothing there.
Yeah, he's like, can I take you away? Can we finish our conversation? He was like, yeah, whatever. I guess this is part of the show. So it is their fault, but like it's all for TV, so it's kind of weird seeing Kristen because like it really feels like I feel like she's like the Deadpool of this season, because she's kind of like breaking the fourth wall of like almost like if there was an Office version of The Bachelor, like, the first person, first camera view of it, where they zoom in on her and she kind of looks at the camera like, is this really happening type shit? Like, because the girls will just all be sitting in a tribal mentality of just ganging up on like somebody that is new just because they're new. It's like there's still women here in the house that like had to like stay in a room for like a week or two while you got to be out here playing and stuff with him. And it's like you guys are like all on the same playing field here, like get into reality and stuff. So it's kind of crazy seeing her kind of like standing up for other people that are not there, and then her also just like stepping out and being like, look, there's some like weird shit happening right now that like I don't feel like it's comfortable at all, and I respect that a lot. So good shit.
I respect Katie. She continues to be a queen.
I mean, week after week she's impressing us. I mean, this was an impressive episode for her, but like I don't even know how she impressed us last time, but we talked about her like kind of breaking out of the mold of like being like the vibrator girl and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think she's I don't know, man. I think she might be into running for Bachelorette.
That's what I think. I would love to see her as Bachelorette because I feel like she's such a well-rounded person, has a lot of personality, like is very like
Future
true to herself.
Prediction. Like I don't think they're picking they're going for like the hottest ones now. They're going for the ones that are gonna like make a good name for the show, maybe, hopefully.
She reminds me of like her, like she would be more like a Rachel Lindsay kind of Bachelorette to me, where she's like very like Rachel Lindsay didn't play any games. Like she was just like, this is how it's gonna be. This is whatever.
I honestly
and, like,
thought Claire was gonna kind of be like that too.
That's what we thought Claire was gonna be too, but she was more immature than any of these younger girls, which was upsetting.
Yep.
Which was upsetting.
Yep, it really was. So yeah, this episode leads us on a cliffhanger of like someone's gonna be in trouble, and it looks like the two girls that were just talking shit. So
Anne and Victoria.
Yeah, I mean, it just really can't go on like that. Like, it just felt very sinister, this episode, of like the stuff being said about other people, and it's just funny how like fast it went from being like, oh, we don't know each other, to like, I've seen her around. Like you know. I try to put myself in the situation of knowing someone from your city because of like social media, or because of, you know, you might be out there in the industry or something like that. So you know of people, and you kind of see people out like with the people that you might know of. So
yeah.
So just even that, like just putting myself in a position of knowing that like maybe you know that she like entertains or people for money, or she just be around people with money. Like, it's just so messed up how by the end of the episode she was pretty much like accusing her of something that she had proof of it just because someone sent her a text on Instagram or something, like a DM. So
yeah, being all like, watch out for her.
Yeah, so it seems like
she has men pay her. Ooh.
I mean, do you think those two girls are going home?
I mean,
I
hope I want Victoria to go home at minimum. Like, Victoria is just a bully at this point. Like, there's no reason for her to be on the show anymore. Like, she's not bringing any, like, at this point, it's just negative drama, and it's not even entertaining.
No, it's
anymore.
not even entertaining, and it's not a good look for women. I don't think so. I'm not saying like you're like any representation of what our Victoria is like putting out there or whatever, but like, it just sucks. Like, it just sucks because that is sucking up the air in the room over someone like Katie, who's like actually putting out like good shit, you know.
Agreed.
So. Yeah, well, that's pretty much it for this week's episode of The Bachelor, right?
Yeah, let me give some quick Bachelor news.
Okay.
Speaking of Victoria, her mugshot got put out this past week from when she was arrested back in 2012 for stealing $250 worth of groceries and makeup from a Publix in Florida. That's some Florida shit. Like, oh, come on. Like, but so, you know, she's saying that she's liberated by it being out. Now she doesn't have to hide it anymore, and like, whatever, it's part of her journey. Blah. Whatever, good for her. Peter and Kelly, since they are now broken up, have both been potentially tapped. So Kelly was on Good Morning America, and they asked if she would consider being the Bachelorette, and she said she would. I hope that does not come true. I think she'd be a boring Bachelorette.
Oh, yeah.
It would not be.
I don't know, though. I felt like she was starting to show a little bit more personality, like with the last episode where they sent her out. Like, I was like, she was kind of funny. That's like.
Yeah, but she's got like, I mean, she has very dry humor, which I love, but I feel like that a Bachelorette does not make. I just feel like you gotta have like a little bit more oomph. You gotta be the quarterback of, like, you know.
Yeah, sure. I feel like if they were to pick her, Kelly, as the Bachelorette, they would pick her because I've been hearing rumors that they want to get Peter for Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise. That's what I was going to say next. So, like, that would just really be, you know, then I'm sure there'd be some, like, weird crossover. She shows up on the beach. He shows up, like, whatever. Like, there would be.
And her guys show up on the beach.
Yeah, it would be a whole thing.
And
so
they're all like, and then him and then like somebody from her season that like talks shit about how Peter's a loser comes on, and like then they get in like I could see it already. If I should be a producer for The Bachelor, that's all I'm saying. We should.
We should, yeah. Honestly. We know this backwards and forwards. And then, okay, Diggy, who was on Rachel Lindsay's season, I believe. Mm-hmm. He is expecting a child with his girlfriend, Jennifer something or another, and Jennifer Lando. And I guess they started dating back in, I think in the winter, like back in just in 2020. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that she was somebody that he was dating. So that's that, because I've been following him. And then Claire and Dale update. Claire said that she seemed a little like taken aback by what was Dale's mutual statement for them, because I guess they didn't plan their timing of their statements right or whatever. So she's still pretty torn up. And then people were trying to say that, you know, he was potentially cheating on Claire with a friend of his. Lauren, I believe her name is. But she has quelled those rumors. They've all quelled those rumors. People are feeling some kind of way. And then Dale finally posted an Instagram video on his stories of him, you know, talking about his feelings and how he's happy as the support system that he has, because it's been rough on him and he still loves Claire, but like it just wasn't working out for them and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, Homeboy seems like he's on vacation right now.
Homeboy's a loser, I feel like, and they're both losers actually. For him to like kind of go along, like for her to even want that like this to do this, and him to go along with it, they're both losers. I just feel like, you know, when it comes to Claire, she probably feels so freaking stupid, as she should, and she's, I don't know, like we all have to live with our decisions, right? Like, you can't just throw it all away for love on TV. Like, do you hear the way I said it? That's the way she... Well, I just feel like that's the way, like, she was, like, trying to be, like... It's just like you're a crazy person. Like, you should be on TikTok fighting with, like, other TikTokers or something, because you're just... I feel like Dale, like, it sucks, but, like, he's just running for the hills at this point. Just trying to be like, yo... I'm done. Like, I just want to wash my hands of it. I'm going to, like, in a couple of years, you guys won't even know this stuff and move on and everything. But for Claire, it's a little different. This was her redemption. And she kind of messed it up just to have, like, a shiny car or something like that, you know?
Pretty much.
Instead of investing in Tesla, she bought a Tesla. You know what I'm saying? You could have put that same money into stock, like, 5 years ago, and you could have owned 7 Teslas. Anyways, just to bring it back to our stock talk, this is a little preview for my new stock podcast coming up. I call it Stockcast. Okay. Anyways, future stalker. Oh, well. Get it? Oh, man.
Oh, I'm dead.
Well, anyways, guys, why don't we get into our slapper of the week? This week's slapper actually has a really kind of cool story to it. This DJ named Amorphous, I think that's how you say it.
For a second, I thought you were about to say this DJ Khaled.
This DJ, I mean, I'm funny, but not as funny as you. Well, no, this DJ named Amorphous, he really loves this one Rihanna track, which they use in the sample for it. It's called "Kiss It Better," yeah, from her Anti album. And essentially, he just like kind of mixes the acapella or like that song with like a bunch of different songs I've seen mixes of. But this one he actually mixes with a Luther Vandross song. So he puts it out. It goes viral back in November, and I believe DJ Khaled heard of it, and he flipped it for Fat Joe to rap on it, and it says crack in the chorus. Of course, they call Fat Joe Joey Crack, and all that stuff. So, I mean, what better way to get a Rihanna feature without actually having Rihanna be about it? Because when you heard the song, you're like, that's Rihanna. Why doesn't it say featuring Rihanna on here? And obviously, Rihanna didn't want to be featured on it, but she had to have cleared the samples. So.
Somehow.
Yeah, so they got around getting her Rihanna feature, and I think the song's a really good feel song, a good feel-good song for summer. And the only problem I have with it is that, like, I hate songs that put the year in the beginning of or in the song because it dates the song. So at the beginning of the song, you'll hear 2021. So I don't know how much I'll be listening to it next year, but. This year, it's a slapper. So without further ado, this week's slapper of the week, Something, in parentheses, The Light, by Fat Joe, DJ Khaled, and Amorphous, and Rihanna's in there. So let's go. Slapper of the week. Fat Joe, DJ Khaled, Amorphous, Rihanna's in there.
Rihanna's in there.
I love that song. Been bumping it. V.
Kiss.
What do you got for some shout outs?
I wanted to shout out my friend Amanda for sending me the most ridiculous gift. Like, it's one of those, like, something you would see, like, on a Facebook ad. And it's this tank top that says, like, just an Illinois girl stuck in a Georgia world. And it's ridiculous. And it brought some joy to my day. So, nice. Shout out to her.
Okay.
And then I wanted to shout out our pal Shelby from formerly of the company, currently not at the company anymore because it's currently her birthday.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday, Shelby. Miss you.
Miss game nights.
Yeah, me too. Well, I have a shout out. I got a text from my homie Jessica Suknanen yesterday.
Ugh,
and
girl.
Yeah, we're going to give her a shout out right there. The OG. She, another person that used to work at the company, but she reached out saying that she started watching The Bachelor, so she had to tell like her number one person that she knew that loves The Bachelor, and she hit me up, and so I wanted to just give her a shout out. Welcome to Bachelor Nation, and welcome
to the trip.
Yeah,
if you
now
will.
you can listen to us talk about the show and everything. Just like if you guys got a friend that liked The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, tell them to listen to Future Bachelor because it's a good place to recap this stuff with us. So, shout out to you, Jessica. Miss you.
Yeah, me too.
V. That was our episode. Next week we got episode 150.
Because that's how numbers work.
Yep. Everything going good with you? You doing good? You got a smile on your face, it looks like, so.
I mean, yeah, that was it. How can you not smile after a song called Sunshine?
Oh,
the light. Because it was a vibe, and it has, I just really wish Rihanna would be coming out with new music. I guess I'll keep bumping Auntie like I always do because it's a great album, but one day.
Yeah. You got any fun plans for this weekend?
Not really. No.
I didn't see you this weekend, did I? This past weekend? I thought we were going to cross paths, but
no,
that didn't happen.
Did not happen.
Yeah, well, guess you were having too much fun with...
We had parallel paths, it seems. They did not intersect.
Interesting. Well, all right, V. With that being said, guys, let's get some perpendicular paths or whatever they're called, cross paths. Because, guys, I just want to cross paths with y'all all the time. Cross paths with us next week on next week's episode. This has been Future Bachelor. My name is Sai.
And I'm Veronica.
And we love you. You know what it is. Deuces.
Bye.